Hi, everyone. So, guess what? So, you know how last time I was saying that person emailed me from the Autistic Culture podcast asking if, I would like to interview Angela from the podcast? And I had to write back and explain that I can't because, I don't understand, the auditory stuff. It's just always been an issue for me. And whenever I say no to people, back in the day, I used to feel so bad for saying no. I used to be a yes person, so I was doing that for years, and then I just decided, I'm going to stop. I can't just keep saying yes to everybody because it's just not a good idea. So, when I would say no to people, even to people who didn't know that I used to be a yes person, people can't take no. I don't know, at work or something. Oh, can you do this or so? I don't know. If I just say no to people, and whenever I have said no, the majority of the time, it's not a good response. And so I don't know if that plays into why I am afraid to say no to people. Not afraid, but and so I wasn't expecting to hear anything back. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, you go to this link. She sent this whole email, and I feel like I wasted her time because she did that. She wrote all that up, and then I said no, and she had to spend all that time writing all of that information to begin with. And this is just the shit that my mind thinks about. But anyways, good news. Surprisingly, she asked if I would do a guest blog on their Substack. And gave me some stuff to talk about, autism wise. And oh my God, yes, I can do words. I'm getting better at writing. So I don't know. I just thought that was I felt so I just felt nice, and I thanked her, and I'm definitely going to do that. But that was not the response I was expecting. And I rarely get people, oh, I understand. I mean, when you're dealing with work people, my clients and stuff, that's different. But just in general, outside of that. So yeah, but maybe you should go over to their Substack anyways, not just to read whatever I send over, but I've been on the fence, do I do their Substack or not? Because I have so many subscriptions to so many things, but I probably just will do the Substack subscription for them too. But anyways, I wanted to share that. And then the other thing is my next journal. I just published it. It is available. You can go check it out. That's as much advertising as I'm going to do about that. But I'm very glad that I got it done, because I definitely procrastinated on that one. And then another random thing I'd like to say is, I don't know where this popped into my head. I was watching something on TV as usual, and I just happened to notice this necklace that somebody was wearing. And I have a thought of, when people wear necklaces, I don't feel like they're actually wearing the necklace for themselves, because you can't see your necklace. You can only see your necklace if it's long enough where you look down and you can see it. Or if you go in front of a mirror, you can see it. I don't understand why people wear necklaces. I mean, the cross, yeah, I understand why people wear the cross or whatever, but I don't know. I think there's who's buying necklaces and wearing them just for themselves. I guess when you buy it, you think you're wearing it. You're going to wear it for just you. Oh, I love this necklace. But you put it on and you can't see the necklace. So I don't get it. And then don't you forget that you're wearing it. I don't get it. I don't know. Is this a thing? Do other people think this way? I don't wear necklaces. I used to. I tried a few different times, but I was so sensitive to I could feel the chain on my neck every time I moved, and it just wasn't going to work. But I don't know. I just was randomly thinking about that. But anyways, I went to therapy today. This was an individual session. Me and Alicia go next week. But I brought that mother-daughter book to therapy because I wanted to read the section to Tia about the bathroom trauma stuff. Don't worry, this is not going to be a bathroom trauma episode, another one. And I thought that, okay, I would just read this. I would read her my response to what my mother wrote, and then we would talk about it for like 15 minutes or so, and then get into something else. And like, that didn't happen. I was so surprised that once I handed over the notebook for her to look through, she held on to it until the very end of session. And basically the session was like 2 minutes of silence while she was reading a couple of pages, and then she would like read something that either my mom wrote or I wrote, and then we would talk about that for a little bit. She helped me process through like some of this bathroom trauma. I felt very validated, and she seems like really into the journal. And Alicia was like, well, do you know like how cool it is to come across something like this? It's like an artifact. And Tia was like, you know, when you read through stuff like this, sometimes people are like, maybe my memories aren't as bad as I think they are. Like, maybe things were actually like better, and I'm just sitting here like everything was bad. And then you go through and you read the notebook, and like it just confirmed for me, yeah, like my childhood was not that great. And there's stuff in here that my mom would say that I didn't even realize was considered mean because I read it as autistic. So that I'm a little bit, I don't know. Because, for example, the front of the notebook my mother wrote started on 15 July 93, finished on 28 August 93. I mean, she went back and she put when it finished. Who does that? Somebody that's probably autistic. And then on the front page, her very first thing that she wrote, this book is for keeping forever. Don't tear the pages out, and date your letters so we know the date it was written. Take the pages in order. Don't skip pages. If you only write one page, the next person uses the front of the next page. The back page is for a 2-page letter only, otherwise we leave it. Oh, a 2-page letter only, otherwise we leave it blank. I didn't read that as rude. I just read that as like, those are the rules. Like if I started a notebook, you know, like that I would do the same thing. I don't know, like if I would these days, but like there was a time when like, no, I would write that. Yep. I told Tia, I was like, are you sure that's not just autism? Because I would totally be like, this is how you're going to use this notebook. Because like with the calendar on the fridge, I tell Alicia she's only allowed to write her appointments on the very top line because I use the other ones to color code. And I was like, if you use anything below that top line, we're going to have to talk because it's going to interrupt my organization party. So like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, I actually just got done doing the calendar for February, and it is so fun. It really was an organization party for me, myself. Only I attended. And I had my markers, and I had my Sharpie pen, and I was writing all the appointments down and color coding everything. And to me, that's a good time. But this isn't about like more of my mom's bullshit. And I'm sorry, I'm still reading to you guys. Maybe I should like become like an audiobook reader, like narrator, but I don't think I'd be able to make it through without stuttering. I just wanted to get on here and say, because I went back through this again, this notebook, and reading the stuff that I wrote is so funny to me because some of that stuff I could not believe I liked. I don't even remember it. And the other stuff, it really is just stuff that hasn't changed. Hi, honey. Oops. Oh, what'd you say? Huh? What'd you say? Sorry. That was bitchy boo. So like, I'm just going to there's 2 sections I wanted to read. Sorry. I don't know what is up with story time. So I wrote, Dear Mom, how did you sleep? I slept good. First, I'll answer your questions. Cause remember, we did like a question and answer thing. Number 1, yes, I did have fun cooking. The only things I have ever cooked in my whole life is pancakes, spaghetti, cookies, and hamburger meat. Number 2, well, since I have already done a dinner, then I guess I could try a cake. Tony's my brother. Is Tony and me going to bake one cake, or are we each going to do our own? Number 3, well, yeah, I'm looking for a boyfriend, but I really don't know how to find one. What I think is that a boy is supposed to fall for a girl. Usually boys think girls are pretty. I don't want to think that a boy's cute and the boy doesn't think I am. Number 4, Bethany and I had fun. Bethany was a neighbor. All we were doing was trying to make each other laugh, and we did that until we both came over to play Nintendo. Man, you sure had good questions. Your turn. Number 1, why don't we bring Akachan with us? Akachan was our dog, and we were getting ready to PCS to Hawaii, and it just wasn't a good idea to bring that kind of a dog because it was very skittish. And anyways, and she's the best dog in the whole wide world. Thank you very much for your letter. Do you think that if I get married that I shall let my husband know about what you and me are doing now? Give me your honest opinion, and neither yes or no will hurt my feelings. The reason Tony and me were laughing today is 1, we haven't done that in a long time because we were fighting. And 2, some of the things we said were so weird. Gotta go. This is so, like, I don't know. Honestly, I think I was a cool kid. Like, not cool and, like, all the kids at school wanted to hang out with me, but I was a cool kid. I know for a fact, like, I know that this notebook that she did had to do with, like, trying to figure me out because Tia was like, do you think it's something about like a gender thing, because like my brother he was like the golden child. I was like a piece of shit. I would have thought that maybe like, is she not my real mother? And like, I'm really like, my dad was with somebody else or something, but I look too much like both of them. So that's not it. But anyways, I think that, because I was talking with Tia, and I remember having a sense of like my mom was embarrassed of me, because that's why I kept pulling my eyelashes out all the time, because I knew that she wouldn't bring me out in public. Excuse me. But yeah, I can see myself. I remember how I was a weird kid, but the friends that I made probably were autistic because they were a bit weird as well. Those were the only people I like, is the weird ones, the ones that didn't conform to everybody else's expectations. And I just think it's a pity that my mom missed out on enjoying raising her daughter the way a parent should raise their kid. Here's another one that, oops, sorry. I don't even know if anybody's still listening. I mean, not right now because I'm recording, but, so here's another one. Dear Mommy, how did you sleep? Good, I hope. Your questions. Yes, I like wrestling. Number 2, I think Shawn Michaels is cute. Number 3, first, I want a guy that cares about me and doesn't act stupid. I want to date when I find the right guy, and I also want him to pick me up on time and drop me off on time. I want to date because it will give me a chance to look for Mr. Right. Holy shit. Number 4, yes, I think the rules about dating are fair. Number 5, I find that being downstairs is boring because there's nothing to do. And that must have been when I just holed up in my room all the time because I realized like I liked being by myself and nobody was bothering me. And when you go downstairs, like it was so fucking boring. All she was doing was like reading or like sitting on the couch and like watching TV, and what the fuck am I going to do down there? But anyways, number 6, yes, I do have a secret, and don't laugh, but I think that Daniel is cute. I don't want to tell you why yet. I don't want to tell her why I think he's cute. Either he is or isn't. I don't know what I was thinking. Number 7, yes, I really like Sergeant Sims singing to me on the phone. I have like somewhat of a memory of some dude that my dad worked with singing to me on the phone. I don't know why. Maybe I liked his voice in person or something. I don't know what that was all about. And then I asked her questions. Number 1, do you like Channel 10? So in Japan at that time, 1993, there were like 5 fucking channels. all you ever got were like 5 channels, and 3 of them blacked out at midnight and didn't come back on until like 7 the next day. So channel 10 that was a banging channel, apparently. I don't know. Number 2, do you like Joey Lawrence and why? Number 3, how many guys have you dated? Number 4, is daddy better than any other guys you dated? Number 5, do you and daddy talk in bed after you check on us? How long do you talk? What do you talk about? Do you like reading a lot? I do. That's my favorite hobby. Gotta go. Maybe I'm ADHD, but I don't think so. So it's very interesting. I don't know if anybody else has stuff like this, but it is very weird to hold a 30-year-old book and to have this kind of viewpoint. And like, as I read the stuff that I wrote, I'm just a kid. Tia was like, you were just curious. You had questions about everything. And you could tell by my mom's writing that she was annoyed with that, but at times. But I was always asking, like, why does this happen? Why does that happen? When can I do this? How old do I have to be to go do that? Because, like, you're 10, your brain is, like, in the forming stage. Like, I'm 10 years on planet Earth. There's so much that I want to fucking know about. Like, what is all this shit? Like, that's just, I don't understand. I think I've always not liked people who don't ask questions. I don't know why I'm going with this. I popped into my head. But like, when I would train people at my traditional jobs back in the day, I would have to train them. Oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say. No. Oh no. I don't even know where I was going with that. Why does this keep happening? I'm just gonna go with menopause and autism. And not pop brain, because I don't think it's pop brain, but it could be. Who knows? I don't even remember where I was going with that. Yeah, I'm really sorry. It'll probably come back to me after I publish this episode. But anyways, this is cool to have. I feel more positive about it than I do negative, and this is the last time I'll talk about this. Well, the last time I'll read anything from the journal. At least I think so, but probably. But I don't know, like, try to picture myself when I was a kid and the things that I would talk about and the things I apparently really wanted to date boys. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm glad that, like, I've always been curious, even though hasn't been very well received throughout my life. Like, everywhere. Oh, maybe that's what I was going to say. Is like, when I would work and train people, if they didn't, that's what I was going to say, that if they didn't ask questions, I wanted nothing to do with them. So like, when I got on the job as an addictions counselor for the first time, I had so many questions. Like, Alicia was my trainer. Like, this was like months before we got together. But anyways, she was like training me. She was the only one in that place that knew her shit. And I had a notebook. I was taking notes. Whenever I had a question, I would leave my office, go to hers, ask her the question, and she always answered me. And not once did she ever make me feel bad for asking tons of questions. So that was a good sign right there. I like when people don't make me feel bad about just being curious. But like, when I would train people, and if they didn't ask me questions, my training got worse. Like, I was so burned out. We had such high turnover at one of the places. We went through like 20 counselors in 1 year, and I was on like my 5th or 6th dude that I was overtraining people, because who the fuck knew how long they were going to stay for. And the ones that asked questions, I was more into training them and wanting to train them properly, because I could see that, you actually want to be good at what you're going to do for work. And if you've got questions, I've got answers. So the ones that would get on there, like, they would come in and like, they showed up, They weren't even taking notes. They didn't have that many questions. They figured it's not that hard to talk to people. Like, I pretty much that's when I was a real bitch. I was like, I'm not training you anymore. You're gonna have to go talk to the supervisor. Yeah. At some point, they made it so that I didn't get to train anybody new. And they were acting like that was a punishment, and it wasn't. I was very happy about that because I don't like training people. I don't have time for that. But yeah, I think it's cool to be curious. I think it's cool to just have random thoughts and want to know how something works. I mean, like that random thought about like a necklace, like I don't know. It seems so strange to just pop into my head, but when I'm reading my 10-year-old letters to my mother, this is just normal stuff to me. And it's so weird to think that there's other people, like ordinary people, and autistic assholes like my mother. No, I don't remember what I was going to say. Ah, shit. I should just end this episode. What was I going to say? I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I was just, my cat's like kind of like licking his paw right next to me, and I think it's so cute, and I looked at it for like 1 second, and then my thought flew out of my mind. But that's all I wanted to get on here and say. I'm not just getting on here to do episodes, because if you're listening in real time, this is like the third day in a row I did one. I don't know, sometimes when I get spurts like this, I don't know where they're going to come from, what they're going to cut. Like, it happens to be, I guess I'm motivated to do more episodes this week or something. I don't know. So I'm just kind of rolling with it until it goes away, like the motivation, or I don't know what it is, but I just wanted to share that therapy was really good. Actually, this was the best therapy session I've ever had with my therapist. And I've been meeting with her for years, and she's so good, but this was the best one. And I think part of it had to do with the fact that she actually was interested. She was going through page by page and she was reading. And I don't know, like, it wasn't uncomfortable. Like, I don't care what I sound like. I mean, I was 10. Kids are dumb, like they don't know what they're doing sometimes or what they're saying, but I don't know. I think she was just sitting there and like reading and seemed actually interested. And I don't get experiences like that very often. And I'm not talking about just with her, just in general. I don't usually have experiences, except with Alicia here and there, where somebody's interested in something that has to do with me. And I didn't say that to her, because I don't even think I was like consciously thinking that by the end of the session. But the way that she helped me view some things was super helpful. And then just reminded me that there was nothing wrong with me as a kid. It was other people that didn't know how to handle my behaviors or my weirdness or my questions, or, like they just didn't really want anything to do with it and would ostracize me. And that's unfortunate that happened, but here's a clear reminder that I was a cool kid. I asked questions. I think I was somewhat intelligent at 10 years old, but not like gifted intelligent, not even close to that. I don't know. Like, I remember talking to kids. Sorry, I know that this is going on a tangent. I remember like talking to kids my age, and like, so fucking boring, these kids. Like, you want to watch the cartoon? Hey, you want to come over after school? We're going to eat some ice cream. No, motherfucker. I don't want to go to your house and eat ice cream and watch a cartoon. Are you 10? Yeah, you're 10. I'm 10 too, but I am not like you're 10. Oops. Talking too loud? Okay. He says I have to go and take a shower now. So, because that's what I'm going to go do. I don't know. You don't need to know that. I need to go now. I'm not on anything. I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but just in case you're wondering, this for real is just me. Thank you for listening. And if you have a good therapist, thank your therapist for being a good therapist, because there are more not good ones than there are good ones, in my opinion. And if you think you need therapy, get a therapist. Worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to be a quackadoodle, and you're going to have to go therapist shopping until you find a good one. But it's totally worth it, because if I found this book at the age of 40, right now I'm 40, and I read this book without having done any therapy, I don't think it would have been good. Like, I wouldn't have had the emotional language. I wouldn't have had perspectives. I wouldn't have done all the work on myself that I did prior to like reading this a few weeks ago. So it just, things like that mean a lot to me. And I'm really grateful for therapy. So if you have the ability and you want to, just try it out. It's not that bad. Yes, thanks for listening, and goodbye.